Welcome to day one of my 3-day. I am upstairs finishing up, getting ready. It's been a bit chaotic today. My husband and my daughters flew back. They went to a funeral. We couldn't all go, and so I stayed home with Hannah. They flew out on United, flew back on United, so that always adds just a little bit of an extra element of stress when we fly another carrier. When we non-rev on another carrier, I'm all packed. My makeup is what it is, and I'm gonna get my dress on. I've already been to King Soopers. When I was there, they had like these pumpkin, I don't think they're planters. I think they're supposed to be like giant votives you would put on your porch. But I was like, oh my gosh, it's August 4th? I'm not ready. I know that Hobby Lobby has had Halloween stuff for quite a while, but not ready. The kids go back to school in 11 days. Here in Colorado, they start pretty early. It's 4 flights to Orange County. I did this because it's 20 hours in Orange County, and if you've watched, that means I'm going to Disneyland. I don't know if I'm gonna take you. My husband's gonna attempt to come out. So the big joke in the aviation industry is if you make plans, then stuff's gonna hit the fan. But fingers crossed, we're still on time. I'm in the back because that's the only way I'm gonna pick up a flight or trade into a trip with 4 legs. So yeah, I went to King Soopers, back on topic. I got sushi this time. I wasn't going to. Ever since I had that weird, I had one that wasn't very good. It's kind of like put me off. My sushi wasn't very good last night. I don't like ginger. I ate a couple, but it made me ill. But their chicken salad had grapes in it. I don't like grapes in my chicken salad. Here's a poll. Do you like grapes in your chicken salad? Yes, grapes, no grapes. Put it in the comments. That'll be hilarious. I did not make time to make my own chicken salad yet again. And then my second overnight's in Seattle. We stay by the airport, so I don't think I'm gonna do anything. I think I've gotta take some laundry out, start some more laundry, #momlife, before I head to the airport here in about 10-15 minutes. Clint's gonna drive me because we have car drama. I'll fill you in on that later, but nothing too dramatic. We just are down to 1 car right now. So, whew, let's get on the road. Burbank, so we board from the front and the back, which is kind of fun. We have done two more to go. We're headed to Phoenix, then to Orange County. It's going pretty good. We're just a couple minutes late, but yeah, it's going pretty good. All right, I'm in the hotel. It was a good day for a 4-leg day. We were pretty much on time all day, and the 2 flights, I think, were a little bit late. It was like less than 10 minutes. So we got into Orange County on time. Great day, great crew. And I am working on my bid, eating my sushi, and then I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna rope drop. Now, I did mention that my husband was gonna come, but he's just too busy. He had to be out of town for a funeral. I think I mentioned that. So he just was not able to make it out on this trip. Our Disney pass expires the end of September, so we're trying to get a couple more visits in. It hasn't really been possible since January. Finances have been tight, and so Disneyland was not in the budget. So we hope to get out at least one more time before our passes expire. So your girls just got to get some bidding done. I have vacation in September. Well, I will be awarded a line from primary bidding. Primary bidding, it's from the 2nd to the 5th, so it's tomorrow at noon Central that bidding ends. So I got to get this done tonight so I don't have to worry about it at all tomorrow. Yeah, so I'm only working 2 trips in August. This trip, I'm going to trade my other trip. I don't like it. So just 2 because I'm doing the job share, but the summer has been taxing. And so I'm very much looking forward to having the second half of August off. And the kids start school on the 15th. So that's why, well, I wanted to job share. I've always wanted to job share, but I definitely wanted to job share for August because the kids are starting school. So I'm gonna bid and I will see you guys in the morning. I'm up and ready to go down and get an Uber to the park. But I thought I'd give you a quick room tour. Messy, so you can see what real life is like. All right, I was here just a couple weeks ago, so king bed, which was really nice. Got my classic blanket and heating pad there. Got my backpack over here. Was working on charging everything over there. My suitcase. Bathrooms coming up. All my stuff everywhere. Little coffee station. My uniform and my food bag all ready for today. Well, not quite. The park is about 20 minutes away by Uber. We have to lobby today at 5:30 p.m. It is currently like 7 a.m. So I'm gonna go over and have some fun, maybe come back and take a nap. I had a really hard time falling asleep last night, so I didn't sleep the greatest. But today's an easy day. I have not looked at my board yet, but we're just supposed to be doing 2-hour-and-a-half flights to Seattle, and then I can rest when I get to Seattle. So let's head out. Okay, so I'm about to cross over to Disney California Adventure. Okay, if you are someone who wants to come and do Disneyland, you need to come when the park first opens because you can get so much done without Genie Plus and take advantage of those single rider lines. But I'm gonna cross over and do some single rider lines on my favorite rides. Back from the parks, and I had a good day today. I will say, if any of you guys are thinking about doing Disneyland, Disney World, you need to rope drop. And you're like, Elizabeth, what is rope drop? Let's take Disney, for example. Disney parks open at 8 a.m. for regular guests. If you staying at the Disneyland Hotel and the Grand Californian, their hotels, then you can get early access at 7 a.m. But for everybody else, it's 8 a.m. Now they open the gates and let you into the park at least 30 minutes prior. And then you go down Main Street and you get to the center right in front of the castle, and that's where it splits off to all the different lands, and there's a rope. Sometimes it's a figurative rope, sometimes it's a literal rope, and you wait there until 8 a.m. and then you rush into the park for the ride, the first ride of your choice. And for me, it was Indiana Jones because that was closed for a really long refurbishment and I hadn't had a chance to ride it in a really long time. If you know anything about Disneyland, that ride breaks all the time. So I rushed and did Indiana Jones, and then I went and did Big Thunder Railroad, which is one of my favorites. And then I went over to Toontown and did Mickey's Runaway Railway, which is the cutest ride. It is so much fun. Then I was gonna go do Space Mountain, but I think the wait had already gotten kind of long. So I did Small World, and then I was hungry. So I mobile ordered some food, and I went to Jolly Holidays and I mobile ordered a breakfast sandwich and then their macaron, which is so good. It has raspberries in it, which offsets the sweetness. And then I got an iced coffee. And then I went through the shops. I looked through the shops. I held back. I bought one thing. I had forgotten my sunglasses, so I got these. They have just a really subtle detail, sparkles on the side. And then they say, can't really see. It says Disneyland Resorts on the side. So really subtle Disney. I actually needed sunglasses. So with my discount, those were $18, I think. So not too bad. Went through the shops. Again, with the pass, it kind of just makes you slow down. And I rode the horse-drawn carriage. The horse's name was Jack. And then I went across at 11 a.m. is when you can park hop to the next park. So I went over there a little bit early and then headed into Disney California Adventure. So I mentioned that it's all about the single rider line. So I didn't buy Genie Plus. So you want to rope drop and do the big things that you definitely want to do, like Space Mountain. People always run to the Rise of the Resistance in Star Wars Land, and they do all those types of things. You kind of want to do your must-haves right away, as soon as they drop the rope, as soon as the park opens. So I did those, and then single rider line really helps. They were doing single rider line at Space Mountain starting at 10 a.m., but I was hungry, so I had decided to eat, and I did not go back to Space Mountain. Matterhorn has single rider in the Disneyland part. The Millennium Smuggler's Run has single rider line. I can't think of any other ones, but when you go over to Disney California Adventure, Radiator Racers is like one of my hands down favorite rides, and it had a 2-hour wait for the regular standby, regular line, or you could buy the Lightning Lane, or you could do single rider. Single rider, it was 12 minutes. 12 minutes to get on the ride. So the thing about single rider is if you're with your family or if you're with your partner or a friend, you're not guaranteed and you're not gonna be in the same car with each other. You could be in the same car, just not the same row, but it's worth it because 2 hours or 12 minutes. And then I went and did the single rider for Incredicoaster. And then I did Little Mermaid, which was too long. It was a 30-minute wait, but I ate my macaron in that line. And then I decided, you know what? It was getting super hot. I was done. And so I came back to the hotel. I'd just been chilling and watching TikTok videos. And we have to be down in the lobby at 5:30. It's 3:15. So I'm probably not gonna do anything in Seattle tomorrow. It's a pretty long ride on the train to get downtown, so I'm probably not gonna do that. I'm just chilling out, watching TikToks. I've really gotten into TikTok Live. Have you guys gone down that rabbit hole? Comment below. Have you gone down that rabbit hole? And this is a good spot. If you haven't subscribed, it helps me out so much. If you just hit subscribe, it costs you nothing. So if you hit subscribe, hit like, send me a comment. I love to chat with you guys in the comments. Have you fallen down the TikTok Live hole, or have you gone down the TikTok rabbit hole? I actually started building up my TikTok account so that I could get accepted into the Amazon Influencers program, which I did, and I need to finish my approval process for that. Yeah, I started building up my TikTok account for that. So I'm gonna keep chilling, clean up my room because it's a mess. Clean up my room and pack up and be ready. We've got 2 flights today. We're going to Sacramento, then we're going to Seattle. It's an easy day, knock on wood, it stays that way. We're gonna do this thing. We're gonna continue on, and we'll see what shenanigans we can get into in Seattle. to Seattle. I hate carpet and hotel hallways. It's so hard to roll my bag. And the pilots, they're like, we're gonna walk to the hotel. We're in Seattle. We stay really close to the airport. The lighting in here is crappy, but oh my gosh, where are my Seattle people? Because that was a crazy airport. And I used to fly through here when I was a kid because I grew up in Alaska. And if you went anywhere, you had to stop in Seattle to connect. So I remember coming through here as like a teenager. Our plane parked in some like random like annex. And it's probably because they just needed us to park and then they'll tow the plane. So we had to like ride a train and then kind of come up in the middle of a concourse, in the B concourse, and then we walked here. And I know the pilots are cooped up all day sitting on their butts, so they want to walk. We've been on our feet all day. I mean, today was an easy day, but in general, it was sprinkling a little, nothing crazy. But me and my flight attendants were like, yeah, we're taking the shuttle tomorrow. The shuttle was completely full, like people were standing on it when we got here. So we probably got here faster than if we had taken the shuttle. My crew, they're awesome. They're a couple and they're gonna go downtown Seattle tomorrow. I am wiped. I'm not getting up at 6:30 again because we lobby at noon and it's like a 40-minute to an hour train ride to get downtown. So they're gonna go downtown. But like I said, they have to leave at like 6:30 in the morning. Sorry. We'll have to think about doing Seattle a different time. I usually avoid Seattle. Portland's not too bad. It's a long shuttle ride. We don't stay downtown Portland and you can take the train to go downtown Portland. Seattle's one of the cities I avoid. I avoid Detroit. I haven't found anything to do there. We're not downtown, we're by the airport and it's a pretty not very good area. So I literally traded in this trip just for Disneyland. Might heat up my pizza, I have pizza and I'm gonna go to bed. I'll talk about vaping in the morning. Don't do it, just don't. So we'll talk about that in the morning. Good night. Good morning from Seattle. My curls are coming out. Let's spin around. Got trees in the background. We are right by the airport. We're not in the woods. I slept good last night, praise God, because I was tired. But it's gray here. Typical, I guess, Seattle. Oh, I was gonna talk to you guys about vaping. Let's talk about vaping in the plane. You can't do it. Don't vape on the plane. You will get in trouble. Just as if you smoked a cigarette. This is how I latch my curtains closed. So we had this kid last night. Now he did not vape, I will say that, as far as I know. He just was holding it in his hand. And so he was pretty young. And so the flight attendants, the guys were coming up from the front and they're like, hey, you gotta put that away. You can't vape on the plane. He's like, oh, okay. And so then we do our service and then we come through with trash. The other flight attendant, he's like, I think he's still holding it. I can't tell, but there's something in his hand. And so he comes to the back of the plane and I'm doing trash as well. So then I come from the back and I'm doing trash to the front and I can see it in his hand. And I'm like, you can't smoke that. He's like, oh, I'm not smoking it. And he's like, so I was like, okay, then put it away. Because it needs to be out of sight. It's just too much of a temptation. So we were very kind, but I was very like, I put my mom voice on. I was like, you need to put it away. And then he came to the back of the plane and he was gonna go in the lav, in the bathroom. And I was like, you can't vape in there. I don't know. I was like, cause the alarm will go off. And I'm not trying to be a bee or whatever, but I had never heard the smoke alarm on our aircraft until vaping became a thing. You can't vape on planes, not allowed. So as far as I know, he did not vape, but I've had people vape on the plane. I've had people vape in the aisle. They do this thing. I don't know if I can do this while I'm holding, where they vape in their lap. And then I've had a pilot who is deadheaded and he's like, I think that guy's vaping. I was like, say something, dude. So yeah, don't vape on the plane. I have to be down in the lobby in 2 hours. The guys, I'm gonna find out if they actually got up at 6:30 and went into Seattle. I stayed up and then I slept really good. But yeah, I'm just gonna chill. I need to eat something. I need to figure out if I'm gonna get food. I ate pizza last night. I heated it up in my Hot Magic. I used that last night, heated up some leftover pizza And so now I need to figure out food for today. I have fixings for one more turkey sandwich, but I think I'm gonna need something else. 3 home today. So we go from Seattle to Chicago. We do change planes in Chicago. We're about an hour and a half on the ground, and then we go to Kansas City to Denver. Our last flight to Denver is empty, has like 36 people on an 800 that seats 175. So that makes me happy. And the first 2 flights I think are like full. So look at the curls, kind of happy. I don't have any gel with me, so I'm not sure. We'll see, but yeah. All right, I'm headed to the lobby, and this hotel has carpet all the way to the lobby. I hate carpet in the hallways. It's so hard to push my bag. I wanted to point out, I never tell you guys the name of the hotel or where we're staying because it's a safety issue. So don't ask flight attendants where their hotel is or where their company puts them up, because there's a lot of flight attendants that have had issues with creepy people following them or stalkers and stuff like that. So that's why we don't disclose. I try really hard to not disclose the hotels that we stay at. I just thought I'd point that out. And now I'm gonna try and push my bag, because I love my 4-wheel suitcase, but it does not like carpet, and so I need 2 hands. So we got on our plane to Denver, and we're gonna get started boarding soon. We had a little bit of a delay. The weather here in Chicago is not nice. Let's go. My 7-year-old is inside jamming to Meghan Trainor, but it is actually August, it's late in August, 28th. I forgot to say goodbye in the last video, so I thought I'd come and say goodbye now. This was my only trip. I ended up flying in August. I ended up getting sick for my 2nd trip, and I did the job share, so I only had 2 trips in August, so I only actually flew once. I think it's August 28th. I don't fly again until September 7th. The job share was a godsend because my husband has been remodeling. He's been rebuilding a deck, which is a whole separate thing, for a client of his who's moved to Mexico, is trying to get the most money out of her home, and it was super dated. So we went in, and my family, me and the girls, all ripped up the floor. Then we had professional painters come in and paint it. Then we had professionals do the flooring. And then we do kind of the other stuff, like we replaced all of the hinges. We replaced all of the doorknobs from that brassy 80s, 2000s kind of color, probably 80s. I backsplashed the tile. My husband rebuilt the deck, which was the worst project ever, but it's done and it's on the market. So I am so tired. I wish I had been flying, but I go back September 7th, and summer travel is winding down. The company is offering more DRT, which is where they have too many of us and not enough flying. So the summer travel season is definitely winding down. My kids are starting their 2nd full week of school. Have your kids started school yet? So by the time this happens, are you a before Labor Day start for school or after Labor Day start for school? Let me know in the comments. Yeah, it has been in the 90s. Today it's finally, the past couple days, it's finally started to cool down. I don't want to jump straight into winter is what I mean. Colorado can go from like 90s to like 30s or 40s really fast, and I want to keep the fall. So have your kids started school? Let me know. If you haven't hit subscribe, if you made it through, hit subscribe, and we're gonna see what the fall has in store for us. You know, where are we going in this fall? Can I get you some new cities? Your girl is trying. I know you don't always like to come to Disneyland with me, but I love going. I love having the opportunity to go. So I hope you enjoyed this vlog, and next time I'll see you in the sky.